let's come into mountain pose. Feet together. Want to stand up really tall. So make sure your knees are over your ankles, your hips are over your knees. Slightly tuck your tailbone in, pull your shoulders back and down, hands by your sides. Slightly tuck your chin in. Want to feel like there's a string being pulled at the top of the head. Just creating a really straight spine. Coming into mountain pose, we're coming into our body, just taking a moment, finding our balance. You can rock forward and back, left and right, side to side. We want to make sure the weight is evenly distributed in our feet. We have like a little tripod, and the weight we want to distribute in our feet. So we have weight in the heel. We have 2 points in the front of the foot. Makes like a little tripod. So just take a moment, evenly distribute the weight in our feet. Make sure you're standing up really tall. Okay, let's bring our hands to our heart and then staying on our heels. Let's inhale, reach up really tall. And then exhale, come bending at the hips, come forward. Slowly roll to the top. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up really tall. Exhale, come forward, bending at the hips. Do that again. So we're starting to activate that yogic breath. So inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. So we're warming up the spine. Inhale. This time come up onto your toes. Exhale. So we're stretching the spine because gravity compacts our spine all day long. So we're taking really deep breaths, warming up the spine, getting some space in between that vertebra so we can get the subtle energy to move through our spine. Slowly roll to the top. Your head comes up last. Come back to mountain pose. Feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Stand up really tall. Hands equal by your sides. Okay, let's bring our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Hands on your hips, and then we're coming forward, bending at the hips, and then we're going to come over to the left, to the back, to the right, and down, over to the left, to the back, to the right, down. One more time to the left, to the back, to the right, and down. And then we'll go over to the right. Over to the right, to the back, to the left, down, to the right, to the back. Make sure you're breathing. One more time to the left, to the back, to the right, down, and then slowly come to the top, and then come back to mountain pose, feet together. Stand up really tall, coming into Tadasana. Okay, from here, we're gonna come into eagle pose. So we're gonna bring our right arm up. Our left arm comes under. We're gonna find that point in front of us to help us balance our dristi. And then we're gonna bring that right foot over, coming into a curtsy. You can leave your feet on the floor, or you can come into your curtsy. This is a balancing posture. So take some deep breaths here. So if you can, bring your elbows up to shoulder level and bring your hands away from your face. Take some deep breaths here. And release that. Shake that out if you need to. Let's do some shoulder rolls. So we'll do 5 to the front. And then 5 to the back. And then when you're finished, come back to mountain pose, feet together. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed in your feet. Rock left and right, side to side. We're grounding that first chakra, activating that first chakra. It's associated with our legs and our feet. We're in mountain pose, so this is a really grounding posture. So you want to stand up really tall, just get connected in your body. You know, we're in our heads all day long, so this is a time for us to get into our body, to listen to our bodies, to get connected with our bodies, feel grounded. Present moment, what we're doing right now, not doing anything else. Okay, let's do eagle pose on the left side, Garudasana on the left. So we will bring the left arm up. The right arm comes under. We find that point in front of us to help us balance. And then bring that left foot over. And then you can come into a curtsy, or you can leave your foot on the mat. You want to lift your elbows up to shoulder level, lift your hands away from your face. Drop your hands, drop your feet, shake that out if you need to. Come back to mountain pose, feet together. Center yourself. Okay, let's come into chair pose. So feet hip width apart. And then we're gonna inhale, bring our arms up. Exhale, bring all of the weight into your heels. Slightly tuck your tailbone in. You wanna make sure your knees stay behind your toes. Make sure you're taking the yogic breaths here. So we're gonna inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. See if you can go any lower. Really take some deep breaths here. You can activate this pose by lifting your toes if this isn't hard enough for you. Really start to deepen your breath here. That breath is that life force energy. Look down, make sure your knees are behind your toes. All the weight is in the heels. And then let's release that. Inhale, reach up really tall. We're going to come into ragdoll, come onto your toes. And then exhale, come down, bending at the hips. Grab your elbows here, let your head fall forward, let your neck fall forward. Just take some deep breaths here. Staying in ragdoll, we're going to stay here. So last week we were talking about the Nadis, and so this is the way that the energy flows through the chakras, is through the Nadis. And we have 72,000 Nadis in our body. But we have 3 main Nadis, and that's how the energy actually flows through the chakras, are these energy highway systems. And so these Nadis, they help the energy move through the chakras. We have 72,000 of them. And so let's come back up, coming out of ragdoll. Let's come into mountain pose, feet together. Stand up really tall, center yourself. Okay, let's bring the right foot forward and the left foot back. We're going to line up the heel with the middle of our left foot, and then we're going to come into warrior 1. So we're squaring our hips to the front of the room, and then we're going to inhale, bring our arms up. Exhale, come into your lunge. So you want to really square your hips to the front of the room. Really stay strong through the fingertips here. Try to relax your shoulders. If you feel like your shoulders are up by your ears, just let your shoulders drop down, but stay strong through your arms. Take some deep breaths here. And then bring the arms down. Bring that left foot forward. Shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So right foot comes forward, left foot comes back. The heel is lined up with the middle of the left foot. Make sure your knee stays over your ankle. And then bring your arms up. We're squaring our hips to the front of the room. Take some deep breaths here. We can activate our legs by pressing down on the outside edges of the feet. You get this like wrapping sensation towards the back of your thighs. Again, keeping the hands straight, staying active through the hands, but try to relax your shoulders. You don't want to get all scrunched up in the shoulders. Make sure you're taking those yogic breaths. So we're inhaling, pushing the belly out. Exhaling, pushing the belly in. So we're getting that life force energy with the breath. Without the breath, we're just doing exercises. Really want to activate that diaphragm, which is activating. It's like the separation between the lower chakras and the upper chakras, the diaphragm, right below your rib cage right here. So every time we take those yogic breaths, we're pressing on that diaphragm, we're activating that rest and digest nervous system, we're activating that pranic energy. So you want to really accentuate that by pushing the belly out and pushing the belly in. Then drop your hands down, bring your left foot forward, shake that out if you need to. Okay, let's come into chair pose with a twist. So feet hip width apart. And then we're going to inhale, bring our arms up, and then exhale, twist to the left. And we're going to look towards the left as far as we can, or activating our twist with our eyes. Make sure your knees are behind your toes. Look down and see where your knees are. Bring all the weight in your heels. And then let's look forward. Let's release that. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come down onto your toes. Come into ragdoll, bending at the hips. Grab the elbows. Take some deep breaths here. Okay, so these 72,000 nadis, this is how the energy moves through the chakras in the body. So we have three main nadis. We have the Sushumna, the Ida, and the Pingala. And so the Sushumna is the main nadi. This is how the energy moves through the chakras, through the main one, and that goes up the center of the spine. And then we have the Ida, which is associated with the left nostril. And then we have the Pingala, which is associated with the right nostril. And so the Ida is associated with the feminine energy. This is going with the flow. This is resting. This is associated with the moon. Not necessarily resting your body, but just that like flowing energy, that feminine flowing energy. And then the right nostril, the Pingala, that's associated with the masculine energy, with the sun. That's that getting stuff done energy. And so this is how the energy moves through the chakra system. This is how the energy flows through the chakras are the nadis. So we have 72,000 nadis in the body, but there's the three main nadis. And so that's how the energy is moving through the chakras. So let's come out of ragdoll, come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Stand up really tall. Okay, we're gonna do our chair pose with a twist on the other side. So inhale, lift your arms up, and then exhale, twist to the right. So look as far to the right as you can. We are activating the twist with our eyes. Look down, make sure your knees are behind your toes. And then look forward. Let's release that. Come into ragdoll. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your toes. Come forward, bending at the hips. Grab the elbows. Let the head fall forward. Let the neck fall forward. Take some deep breaths here. So why are we even talking about the nadis anyways? So these nadis are important because this is the science of yoga. So this is how the energy moves through the body. And we care about this because I used to have this energy thermometer picture that my teacher gave me, and that's what yoga is about, is we're raising our energy. We're not only raising our physical energy, but we're also raising our subtle energy. And when we have more physical and subtle energy, we're able to move through life more freely. We're able to move through our day with more energy. We're able to feel better in our bodies. We're healthier. Everything seems to be going our way. We're able to commune with the divine. So all of this is raising our energy. And how does the energy move through the body? Through that, through the nadis. So that's why the nadis are important. That's like the how behind the chakras, how it's actually working is those energy channels. So let's come back into mountain pose. So feet together, slowly come to the top, your head comes up last. And then we forgot to do spirit to spirit, so we're gonna do it anyway. So bring your hands together, close down your eyes. You wanna press your thumbs into your heart center, get some physical contact going there, just to activate your heart. And we're gonna connect with our own spirit. So focus on the center of your chest, connect with your spirit. If you don't see a color, just make one up. And then connecting with your healing guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, your teachers, and then the highest versions of themselves, and then the higher power. And we'll create an intention for our practice tonight. Let's have our intention be to open up our nadis. We're opening up our energy channels so that way the energy can flow more freely through our chakras. So we're asking to activate the nadis in our body. And then let's take one inhale, exhale. And then that's also how, when we talk about Kundalini energy rising, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the energy flowing up the spine. It's going through those nadis. So you can call it Kundalini, you can call it life force energy, Prana, it's all the same thing, subtle energy, that chi, all of that. That's all the same thing, goes through the nadis. All right, now you guys are experts. So let's come into a forward fold. Let's come into a back bend first. So let's bring our hands to our heart, and then we're gonna inhale, reach up really tall. We are stretching through the spine, stretching through the rib cage, protecting our low back. And then come forward, bending at the hips, coming into a forward fold. Just take a couple breaths here. Again, remembering that when our head is above our heart, we cannot hear our heart. So in forward fold, our heart is now above our head. Just touching in on that heart chakra. See if your heart has any messages for you. And then from here, let's walk our feet out to plank. So we're spreading our fingertips as far apart as we can here. So we're activating all of the little bones and ligaments in our hands. Rock the weight to the front of the palm. So we're taking some of the weight out of the heels of our hands. You want to make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. Really press down in your fingers, putting weight in all of your fingers. We're strengthening our hands here. Keep your butt low. Zip your navel up into your spine. Make sure you're breathing. Elbows by your sides, come halfway down. Coming all the way down. Let's come into Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath the shoulders. Roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale, gently look up. Really focus on expanding your chest here, breathing into that heart center. And then slowly come down. Let's push back into downward dog. So feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart. Take some deep breaths here. Pedal your feet left and right if that feels good. So we're looking between our feet. Really drive your heels down towards the mat. Drive your tailbone up towards the sky. Take some deep breaths here. And then from here, let's come down to onto all fours. Let's push back into down or into child's pose. Take some deep breaths here. And then let's come back onto all fours. So we're gonna come into cat-cow. So we're gonna inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. So keep going. So continue doing cat-cow. Remember, 3 minutes of cat-cow balances the third chakra, which balances all the rest of the chakras. So this is our chakra hack. So that way we can do all of them all at once. 3 minutes of cat-cow. Let's keep going. And let's do one more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. And push back into child's pose. Okay, and then let's come into easy pose. Come into a seated position. Okay, so we're gonna do alternate nostril breath. So alternate nostril breath is really great for activating the Ida and the Pingala in the body. So we've been talking about the nadis, the 72,000 nadis in our body, but there's three main nadis in our body. So there's the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. And so when we do the alternate nostril breathing, we're actually activating the Ida and the Pingala. So in the body, you have your breath actually moves from nostril to nostril every 2 hours. So every two hours, your nostrils, they switch breaths. Every 2 hours, your breath switches nostrils. So it'll be just in the left nostril and just in the right nostril. So this is something to think about, because if you're feeling like you're just feeling like you need to activate that rest and digest nervous system, that feminine energy, that going with the flow, then you can just plug that right nostril and just breathe through the left nostril. So that's activating that Ida nadi. That's activating that nadi. And let's say you're just really tired, really fatigued, you need to get some stuff done. You can plug the left nostril and you can just breathe through the right, and that's going to activate that masculine energy, that getting stuff done energy. And so what we're going to do right now is called alternate nostril breathing. And so what the alternate nostril breathing does is it calms and centers the mind. It brings the mind into the present moment because we're focusing on our breath. It's also stress relieving, and it's harmonizing the right and left centers of the brain, because we're not just focusing on breathing out of one nostril, which we usually do, but we're breathing out of both nostrils. And so it's activating the right and left hemispheres of the brain, which is like the logical side and the emotional side. It also balances and purifies these nadis. So we're going to be activating the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. And then it's also bringing that subtle energy to the nadis. And so it's helping that life force energy flow through the nadis, and it also maintains your body temperature. So alternate nostril breathing. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our thumb on our right nostril. Our index and middle finger are going to go at the third eye point. You can rest them there. And then the ring finger and the other two fingers are going to be on the left nostril. So we're alternating nostrils. So we are going to close up the right nostril. I'll show you first and then we'll do it together. Close out the right nostril, breathe out through the left, in through the left, and then close the left nostril. And then we're going to breathe out through the right, in through the left. And then we're going to keep doing that. I don't think I said that right, so let's just do it. The thumb goes over the right nostril. Okay, so we're going to breathe in through both. Thumb on the right, and then we're exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close that left nostril, and then out through the right. In through the right. Close that nostril, out through the left. In through the left. Close the left nostril, out through the right.
into the right. Close the right nostril out through the left. Into the left. Close the left out through the right. Into the right. Close the right nostril out through the left. Into the left. Close the left nostril out through the right. In through the right. Close the right nostril out through the left. In through the left. Close the left nostril out through the right. In through the right. Close the right nostril out through the left. And then release, just take a normal breath. See if you can feel a difference in your state of mind. See if you activated your nadis. And just let the hands gently rest in the lap. You can have them rest on your knees. See if you can focus on the breath. See if you can focus the breath in through the nostrils, all the way down to the belly. And then as you exhale, follow the breath back up and through the nostrils. If your mind has started to wander, just bring your mind back to your breath. See if you can follow the breath. Inhale, follow it down the nostrils, all the way down to the belly. As you exhale, follow the breath back up, out through the nostrils. Your mind has started to wander, just come back to the breath. Focus on the quality of the breath. Is your breath deep? Is it shallow? breath is an anchor for the mind. We can't control the mind, but we can control the breath. Gently open the eyes. Let's bring the legs out in front of us. We could do a twist. So we're going to flex the feet, sit up really tall, and we're going to bring the right foot over the left knee. And then we're going to bring the right hand behind us and the left elbow to the left knee. And then we're going to inhale, sit up really tall, exhale, twist to the right. So take some really deep breaths here because you're giving your organs a really good squeeze. And come back to center. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So bring your left foot over and then bring your hand behind you. Let's bring our elbow to our knees, sit up really tall, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. So we want to keep that hand active, keep your foot active. Look as far to the left as you can. We're activating our twist with our eyes. Take some really deep breaths here because you're giving your organs a really good squeeze. We're detoxifying everything. And then come back to center, release that. Bring your feet together. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, reach up really tall. And then exhale, come forward. Take some really deep breaths here. So see with every exhale if you can get deeper into the posture. So let's inhale. Exhale. See if you can let your back go. See if you can let your head relax. See if you can let the tops of your thighs relax. See if you can get deeper with every exhale. Just letting go.
And slowly walk your hands up to the top. And let's roll down onto our backs. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock left and right if that feels good. Giving your organs a little massage. Then bring your feet to the mat. We're going to bring our arms out to a T. And then we're going to come into a twist. So bring your knees over to the left. Head comes over to the right. Bring your head back to the center, bring your knees back to the center. And then let's switch sides, bring your head to the left, bring your knees over to the right. Come back to the center, bring your knees in one more time. Rock left and right. And then let's come into Shavasana. So feet fall to each side. Take up as much space on your mat here as you like. Palms face the ceiling. Go ahead and take 5 yogic breaths on your own. And gently let your brow smooth over. Let your eyes relax. Just feel the little muscles in the corners of your eyes relax.
Imagine a slight smile at the corner of the eyes. To let your jaw relax, just let your tongue fall back into the root of your mouth. Imagine a slight smile at the corner of the lips. Start to let the shoulders relax. Starting to feel inside the shoulders. Feel the tension inside your neck and shoulders. Start to let the tension move from ice to water. Water to gas. Focus on your fingertips here. See if you can feel the tingling aliveness in your fingertips. Feeling a life that's pulsing through you right now. Just taking a moment and focusing on your heart. Seeing what's there right now. You're angry, you're frustrated or sad, or overwhelmed. Just take note of what's there right now. And without covering over anything, just add a smile. Focusing on your belly, let your belly relax. Having a slight smile at the navel. Focusing on your pelvis, just let your hips relax. Add a smile across the hips. The length and the volume of your legs as they take up space on the mat. Now see if you can feel each part of your body as a whole at this present moment right now. start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your arm up over your head and roll onto your side. And then come up into a seated position. Eyes closed, bring your hands to your heart. So we'll end our class with spirit to spirit and healing streams of grace. So connect with your own spirit and focus on the center of your chest. If you don't see a color, just make one up. And then activate your healing guides, your ancestors, your teachers, your guardian angels, and the highest versions of themselves. And then the higher power. And we'll ask that healing streams of grace come in and fill in the blank. And then we'll ask for one more healing streams of grace to come in and bless my mom because she's getting surgery next week. So just give her some good energy so that way she heals up fast on her ankle and it'll look like orange streams of light coming over us. And then you just thank the healing streams of grace. Thank you. I'll see you next week. Namaste.